If you can't remember all that, write down, we like to classify homes by their color, or the big house, the small house, whatever. You write the brown house, the tan house, the blue house. You want to learn how to not pass up the home that is the best fit for you because you have looked at way too many homes. Make sure that you watch until the end, and I'm going to share with you what I share with all my buyers that I work with to help them not make this same mistake. Hey, what's going on, you guys? Derrick.Benn here, real estate agent here in the Pacific Northwest, selling Tacoma, Washington with eXp Realty. So a lot of times what happens when buyers are out looking at homes, they end up looking at way too many homes. When you start looking at way too many homes, guess what happens? All of the homes begin to look the same because there's only so many floor plans. With gated communities being more of the norm, or just communities in general, you'll see that builders begin to follow a certain trend and homes look the same. That's all I'm getting at. I know when you walk into a home, you're looking for that feeling. I've had buyers who knew it was the home just from pulling up, from the outside and, the outside of the home and the curb appeal. They said, this is it. I have a lot of buyers who are in the place where they say, you know what, it has everything I need, let's offer. They're not hesitant at all to offer on a property. I mean, they just let it rip. They let it rip. Property after property until they get that contract, they're willing to go ahead and write the offer. I've even had some scenarios where we had a number of properties lined up for us to go out and to tour, like maybe number one or number two. We see home number one, home number two. They get so excited at one of those properties that they're ready to write an offer right there on the spot. Sometimes we end the home tour and then go ahead and write the offer. I like to encourage them, okay, great, we'll write the offer on this one, but let's go and see the other homes that we have lined up for our home tour, so that just in case, if this one doesn't work out, you've already seen some other ones and you have some other possible options. Okay, I had a set of clients that I was working with, first-time home buyers. They were looking at a lot of homes. The husband would fall in love with one, the wife wouldn't. Same thing, wife would fall in love with one and the husband wouldn't. So they couldn't seem to come to a mutual agreement on offering on properties. In the beginning, and I always share this with all of my clients, you guys probably heard me say this a few times. You want to go into your home search, number one, looking for what it is that you absolutely need. Then what is it that you want, your desire? We used to have a buyer's desires list that we fill out. So go in looking for what you need, and then look for what you desire. Number three, know what you're willing to compromise on. Those three things will help you out. Now you can use that method along with this method that I'm going to be sharing with you just one moment. This couple, they could not come to an agreement on agreeing on a property. So they said, you know what, Derrick, we've looked at a ton of homes, in each home I'm like nudging them like, okay, you want to write an offer? Want to write an offer? So they said, Derrick, we looked at a ton of homes, but we just can't come to an agreement on one. What do you think we should do? So I said, okay, you guys, do this. I want you to literally do this. Remember I said you can use some of that, knowing what you need, what is it that you desire, what you would like, and then what you're willing to compromise on. You're going to be able to use that here. Okay, so this is what I ended up telling them. All right, I said, get out a piece of paper. So you're going to write down, this is really simple, really simple. So you're going to write down the address of the property or the street. If you can't remember all that, write down, we like to classify homes by their color, or the big house, the small house, whatever. You write the brown house, the tan house, the blue house. Let's say you looked at 5 properties. You like 3 out of the 5. This is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do. You're going to write down all of the positives for each home. You're going to write down all the negatives. See, this is a really simple activity. You're going to do that for each home. Write down the positives, write down the negatives. Then you're going to go through and compare which home has more positives versus which one has more negatives. Now, you want to do this quickly. I mean, you can literally at the last home or as you go through each home, you can do this to save yourself time, because you don't want to miss out on your chance to write an offer because someone else wrote an offer, or they had an offer on the table already and they were just waiting for a certain time before they reviewed the offers or they accepted that offer. As you go through each home, have a sheet of paper. It'd be the best way to do it. Write down the positives, write down the negatives. That way, you're doing it on the spot. You're kind of doing it simultaneously as you go and look through homes. At the end of your home tour, tally it up, positives versus negatives. And whatever one has the most positives, then go ahead, write your offer on that one. Then let's say runner up, if that offer doesn't work, runner up, then write your offer on the runner up. That's a really simple process that's going to prevent you from looking at too many homes and missing out on the home that is the best fit for you. Trust me, a lot of people have done it. Some people, I've heard of crazy stories. I've never looked at this many homes, but I have looked at a great deal. I've heard of people looking at 100 plus homes, 200 homes. I've heard of people looking at homes for 2 and 3 years. Now, personally, I don't think it takes that many homes, but for those individuals, it took that many homes for them to be comfortable, because they weren't looking in this market, the market we're coming out of. It took that many homes for them to be comfortable to make an offer on the property. You don't want that to be you. I've had too many people, they put a pause, they pump the brakes on everything because they have buyer's fatigue. You want to prevent buyer's fatigue. You want to stop missing out on the home that's the best fit for you because you're looking at too many homes. You want to be able to come down to a decision without being confused, getting into arguments. Nobody wants all that. We want this to be, okay, let me make it personal. I want this home buying experience to be the most memorable in a positive way for you, okay? Make sure you go ahead, like, and subscribe, or subscribe, like, leave a comment if you have any comments. Share this with somebody that it could be helpful to, and I'll see you in the next video.